Make the machine your servant, not your God. Welcome back to How to Build a Bridge to the Age of Aquarius, the series where I dial back to Stardust and I talk in simple words about what it means to be alive at a time when so much change is happening so fast, and it's so much bigger than you, so much bigger than me. It's happening to all of us everywhere because it is by cosmic design. And the way to build a bridge to the Age of Aquarius that I'm going to talk about today is that we have to make technology our ally, not our overlord. The Age of Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus. Uranus is the master of electricity, of technology, and it's liberation. But liberation comes from consciousness, not from code. We must become architects of ethical technology, sacred algorithms, and soulful software. The future is co-created, not dictated by artificial intelligence. We cannot become the servants of technology. We must be the shepherds. This is, I think, the key challenge of the Age of Aquarius, and it goes back to one of the other videos that I did talking about how technology is such a big part of the Age of Aquarius. But we have to really figure out how we can use these technological advances to our benefit so that we can enrich our human experience rather than fall into a trap where technology overtakes us, because we're headed there right now. And if we don't make some very conscious and very strategic choices, this Age of Aquarius can go off the rails really, really quickly. And I think the first thing we have to do, and this is something that we all have power over, is we have to look at our life and we have to really do an inventory about our relationship with technology and how we are having a relationship with technology, and decide what is useful and what is good and what is to our soul benefit and our human benefit, and what's taking away, what's draining. And for a lot of us, that's simply going to mean spending less time on Instagram, spending less time on TikTok, spending less time looking at trash content, and more time doing something that feeds your soul, like, I don't know, reading a book, listening to a podcast, getting out in nature. That's one of the easiest things that we can all do. But beyond that, so many things are happening that these tech companies are just pushing out. And I don't necessarily think they're all pushing them out with an agenda to make us all into robots and force us all into being, slaves to some, AI overlord. But the ramifications of some of this, if we're not conscious about how we use it, could very much lead us to some places I don't think we want to go to. So we have to demand that these tech companies be a lot more ethical in their practices and have a lot more intentionality in terms of what they're putting out there. And then we as consumers have to decide what we're going to buy into and what we're not. And we have to really educate ourselves about what's behind some of these companies, what's really behind some of these products that are getting rolled out. And then again, we have to integrate these products in our life in a way that moves us forward. And I'm not a Luddite. I use technology. I'm sitting here talking to you through an iPhone. I think technology is really, really great. I think it's one of the most exciting things about the Age of Aquarius, but we have to figure out how to make it useful in our daily lives and use it in a way that gives us more time, that gives us more freedom to create, that gives us more time to, in real life, connect with other humans. I think understanding artificial intelligence and understanding how to use it in your life on a daily basis is so important. There are some really cool tools. I use it. I use AI when I do image illustrations for my astrology readings. I use AI to do research sometimes. I do not use AI to write. I am a writer. I write my own words. So that's my line with AI. That's my boundary. But I think that having this knowledge at our fingertips can be very, very useful. We just have to figure out how we're going to integrate it into our own life on a daily basis. And then we have to make conscious choices with every day how we're going to structure our day and how much of our day is going to be beholden to technology. How much of our day are we going to spend falling into a screen, and how much of our day are we going to spend connecting with people? How much of our day is going to be heart-centered? How much of it is going to be eye-gazing? That's the question we've all got to ask ourselves. So I want to know, what is it that you're doing to make technology work for you? How are you making the machine your servant? And how are you making sure that the machine, that the technology doesn't become some weird overlord god in your own life? What choices are you making on a daily basis to have healthier practices? Or what things do you need to do to become healthier? We're all in process of up-leveling, and it is okay to say, hey, I'm struggling and this is the change that I need to make. Let's comment, let's dialogue, let's talk about this, because this is a really, really important issue. Technology, it needs to be our ally, not our overlord. This is the Age of Aquarius. We are the water bearers in the Age of Aquarius. The water bearer is not the tech companies. The water bearer is you. Thank you for watching. Sat Nam.